Welcome to Telltale. I'm going to start another new author series. This time, I've been wanting to get more authors who are more recent, because I've been focusing so much on ancient authors and science fiction authors of the 1930s and such. I mean, I love those authors, and I'm really enjoying those, but I also would like to do some other authors, people that are a little more relevant today. Not saying that the older authors aren't relevant, they're just, a lot of people have difficulty with them because they don't write about our world today. So a lot of people have trouble relating to them. So one that both Emily and I really, really like is China Mieville. And I really, really like him just on the basis of the one book that Emily convinced me to read on London, which was absolutely amazing. I was blown away by that book. So, in looking for more contemporary authors to introduce into this whole group of authors that I'm exploring, I decided to do China Mieville, and Emily said she'd be cool with that. She has a lot of his books, but she doesn't want to try to track down all the little short stories like I do. So in starting China Mieville, I went back to his very first story, which was Highway 61 Revisited. It's a short story. It was published in a book called Young Words in 1986, and like the title of the collection suggests, Mieville was very, very young at this time. He was a teenager. And this was published in 1986. Now, China Mieville was born in 1972, so do the math, he was about 14 years old. And that's pretty remarkable, because this is a much more professional feeling story than you would expect for a 14-year-old. Certainly the other authors, I mean, even Harlan Ellison didn't write as well at 14. So this kind of tells you what you're in for on this track of going through and discovering all the works of China Mieville. Now the basic plot, which really, really doesn't do this story justice, is you have a group of young people who get into a fight, and then a strange guy comes along and they talk to him. There's a lot going on in this story. First of all, there's references to 1980s politics, which if you're younger than that, you probably won't get those. It's set in the future from 1986, and set far after the time where there's been a World War III. And the really, really fascinating, the plot of the story is very simple and the story is very short, but the really, really fascinating thing about this story is that Mieville correctly guesses that with time, language will change, and so he alters language. Not sure if he alters it quite enough for the amount of time that goes by. It's about 1,000 years in the future. But the whole story, it's not just the characters talking in a distorted language, in an evolved English. The whole story is written in an evolved English. And I think for what this story is, I think he did a really, really good job. Like I say, the amount of time that passed, maybe language would change even more than what Mieville considers here. but who cares? He did a great job with this. It comes across as a very fascinating story. The changes to the language are very interesting, very compelling. So, being as short as it was, I would really have loved more. It seems kind of like a slice of life little incident, and there's this big whole world that he's imagining that I would like to see more going on, have more plot to this. So I definitely wouldn't give this a top tail status, but it is worth looking this up if you like China Mieville. It's worth looking it up and reading it. And the best way to find it now, I believe this book is not in print currently, but pretty easy for me to find this used, and that's Before They Were Giants. It's actually an anthology of the first stories published by a lot of authors, which would have been useful because Larry Niven is in here. I've already done him. Greg Bear's in here. I've done him. It would have been useful to have this for their first short stories when I did those. And a lot of other great authors in here: Piers Anthony, Ben Bova, William Gibson, Joe Haldeman, Kim Stanley Robinson. I mean, it's a terrific collection here. So, have you ever read Highway 61 Revisited by China Mieville? If you have, leave your comments. If you've read anything else by China Mieville, leave your comments. Tell us what you think. Beyond that, like us and subscribe to us, and come on back for the rest of my China Mieville exploration and all the other authors I'm investigating. And I'll see you in the next video.